bringing the noise. Janet Yellen describing the recent inflation data as being, well, just noise. Listen for yourself.
I think it's the data that we're seeing is noisy. I think it's important to remember that, broadly speaking, inflation is evolving in line with the committee's expectations.
Fed Chair basically yelling foul on inflation. Here now, former Texas Congressman Ron Paul. What do you think? Is inflation just noise?
It's serious noise, and there's a lot of shouting. All you have to do is talk to people who actually go to the store and buy groceries. No, the prices are going up. Food prices have gone up 7% rate last year. The CPI measured the old ways going up over 6%. So there's a lot of inflation. But I think they're all missing the point, because the inflation comes when you increase the supply of money and artificially give low interest rates, and then a lot of bad things happen and malinvestment. So there's a lot of inflation when you think of a balance sheet of less than $1 trillion, now over $4 trillion over these last 6 years. So they've increased the balance sheet by 500%. And there's bubbles out there. There's a bond bubble out there. There's a stock bubble. And also, I think housing is not going to ever recover. I mean, the Fed owns $1.6 trillion of the mortgages. So there is so much distortion out there. But Janet says everything is okay. Interest rates are fine.
Do you think she has the tools to deal with it? I mean, if they suddenly acknowledge that things are taking off and it looks like inflation begins to run away, do you think that she has the tools to do something about it without, causing some pretty big negative externalities?
Well, either way, it's going to be bad. But if she does nothing and you have runaway inflation, if she does something, then the House will come down on her, because somebody say, well, you can't raise interest rates. But the markets will finally decide this. It's when the market rejects the dollar and they reject buying Treasury bills, and interest rates will go up, and this fiction will finally end.
Yeah.
But this whole idea of everybody buying these bonds, now they're talking. She didn't talk about this, but they're talking about the Fed imposing a fee to take money out of bonds.
Right.
That, and of course, there's been rumors a long time, which I sort of pay attention to, that they might force us into buying bonds, or not even be able to sell our Treasury bills when we want to, because there's going to be a rush for the exit one of these days on the bonds.
Absolutely. And I don't want to run out of time without asking you about the escalating crisis in Iraq. We heard from the president at the top of the hour, saying that we are not sending in troops for combat, but he's going to send John Kerry. What do you think about that situation?
No improvement, all the same stuff. We are sending troops in. We have special forces there. We have the CIA there. We're going to send in 300 Marines. We have it surrounded. The Navy's coming up into the Persian Gulf. We're ready, threatening with weaponry. We're going to train people. But there's nothing new in there. All the policies he's talking about is everything except no boots on the ground. But the policies he's talking about have been in place for 11 years, and it's created chaos. And here now we're in a position where we created a state sympathetic to the Iranians, and now we're saying, well, maybe the Iranians will bail us out and make sure that Baghdad is secure. It is a comedy, if nothing else, and it proves the point that this interference, this involvement in the internal affairs of nations, and getting involved in these civil wars, being the policeman of the world, we can't afford it. It does nothing for our national defense. The president assured us today his main concern is national security. Mm-hmm. Well, if he really understood what was going on, national security would be best served if we just get out of that region, because it's the stirring up of the pot over there which is the greatest threat to us.
Let me ask you real quick before we go about the political landscape. Given everything that's going on right now, do you think that your son has a chance at the presidency coming up?
I didn't. Who has a chance?
Rand Paul.
Well, I would guess so. In a free society, you're supposed to always have a chance. So, yes, and he's doing well, and he's doing very well in the polls. So I would say, yes, he certainly does.
All right. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time.
Okay.
Let's